Dan, if the Cowboys have any hope of winning this game against the Eagles, what do they need to do?
Stop the run on first down. I mean, that's really the difference with this Philadelphia Eagles football team post-bye is Kellen Moore has come and said, I want to break the record for how many runs I could call in early downs. And if the Cowboys have any chance, it's going to be okay. You got to slow down this first down run game. Look at the amount of yards per rush. They're top 6. Second when it comes to yards before contact. The amount of chunk runs, 10 or more yards, is an issue. So how are the Cowboys going to do that is the biggest question. We know that's been their Achilles heel this year. I mean, J-Mac, I mean, how do teams really try to stop the run early down?
You got to commit more people to it.
Right? So it's bodies. But then the alternative is, what's the second thing that the Eagles do as good as anybody?
Explosive plays.
Right?
In the pass.
So it's
You guys practice that?
That's the challenge, I think, for them to have any shot is can they commit the people early on to stop the run, but also don't become just unbelievably vulnerable to those shot plays.
Absolutely, and maybe Micah Parsons being back helps that because now you can maybe commit more people to the run, but he can get home when it comes to those explosive passing. I look at offensively for the Cowboys, Rico Dowell, and the one thing the Eagles haven't been able to do since the bye week, they haven't let anyone run the ball on them. But the only way they have a chance with now Cooper Rush coming in as the quarterback, you got to be able to run the football. And I know they haven't done that all season long, but getting the ball and watching Rico against the Atlanta Falcons, being able to make plays, having some runs of 10 or more yards is the only thing I think gives them a chance because you keep the ball out of Philly's hands and you don't allow Saquon Barkley to wreck the game. And it makes it a little bit easier on Cooper Rush because he has won some games as a Cowboys starting quarterback. The only thing is when he was winning those games, they were only giving up 15 points a game. Right now, the Cowboys are giving up 35 in the last 3 losses.
Great point. The Eagles are a hot football team. They've been playing really well since the bye, like you pointed out. And for the Dallas Cowboys, you have a different quarterback going in and starting in place of Dak Prescott. Everything needs to be better. They need to do better with the mistakes. They've had a problem with operation, both offensively and defensively. This is the 4th and 1 against the Atlanta Falcons, where they're sending a jet motion that doesn't jet. It's from a standstill, which you actually lose momentum. This is the defense. You and I talked about this, J-Mac, of how you play a bunch. And they're still learning the scheme of Zimmer. This is man-to-man.
Man-to-man.
It's simple. You know how to play a bunch, to your point, since training camp. Get on different levels or top hat it where the point man takes the back guy or vice versa. And when you look at the Dallas Cowboys, they've done really bad at that. Dan, you pointed out on a critical third down, not enough guys on the field. Another third down, too many men on the offensive side of the ball. For Cooper Rush to even have a chance, you have to make sure operationally you have tightened things up, cleaned things up, because as a team, it's everybody's responsibility to fill in the voids.
Yeah, listen. We can do this whole song and dance and be like, how do the Cowboys beat the Eagles in this? And the answer is the Cowboys can't do anything. The only way the Eagles lose this game is 100% on the Eagles. 100% on the Eagles. If they just absolutely drop the ball, fumble, right, do weird stuff, say, hey, we're going to do an onside kick in the first quarter, like it would have to be such a disaster because the Cowboys have been a disaster. And the only way how you could think that the Cowboys have a chance is if you think the success of the Philadelphia Eagles has been misleading or fool's gold somehow, right? And that they've only been hot because of reasons that are not actually sustainable, right? Or solidified. And in no world do I think that that's the case with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like none. Zero. So it doesn't really fundamentally make sense. And you can see they are favored. Eagles have a 70% chance to win, favored by 7.9 points, ESPN Analytics. And it's just, right, they're going up against a backup quarterback. There's not a lot going on defensively for the Cowboys as well. Like all of a sudden the Cowboys are going to be able to run the ball now. Like I'm just not seeing it. And again, right, you want to slow down Saquon Barkley, but then you got AJ, who to my knowledge will be playing. You got Devontae, right? Like the Eagles are a stacked team. They got the roster, and their defense has been playing better. Their offense has been playing better. Like they've all been playing better from start to finish, top to bottom. The coaching has been better, right? Like everything has been better for the Philadelphia Eagles. And so it's just, in what world do we think that the Cowboys, because quite frankly, I see the Cowboys are 3-5. The reality is that they could be 2-6. They could have one win. They were really fortunate for that win against the New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Russell Wilson's there. They're not winning that game. And even that game, even with Justin Fields, right, it took this last second play for them to be able to win, and just exceptionally bad quarterback play from Justin Fields. And same thing with Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones could just hit a throw, which he was unable to do, and not because of just the great Cowboys defense, it was on Daniel Jones, they win that game, right? So it's just like this Cowboys team is actually overinflated. Their record at 3-5 is actually misleading. They're actually an even worse team than they even appear. That's just a reality. And if anything, it's the opposite for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're actually a better team than their record shows, right? They're just a drop pass away from at the minimum being 7-1, and they had so many injuries. They were missing multiple linemen. AJ Brown, Devontae. It was in sweltering over 100 degrees, right? 107 degrees or whatever. The defense was fried. It was exhausted because they were on the field so much, and the Bucs rolled them, right? And that was a misleading game, right? That gave this idea, oh my God, the Eagles are a disaster. What are they going to do? And that was just never really the case. So it's just, to me, this is a more significant mismatch than people even understand, quite frankly. And to think that there's even a 30% chance with Cooper Rush in there, and I don't know, maybe Mike is playing, and I'm sure he'll be disruptive to a degree, but this idea that will be enough, the only way it's possible, like I said, is if you really believe that the Eagles are just 100% fool's gold, right? That Jalen Hurts is actually not that good of a quarterback. He's in pumpkin watch or whatever, and Saquon Barkley has not been good. He's just been feasting on bad teams or something, right? And the defense isn't good. They've just been playing bad offenses. Like that's the only way. If you believe those things, which would be crazy, by the way, if you believe that, then sure, then the Cowboys can quote do stuff to win this game. Otherwise, it's out of their control. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys? Who you got? Do you think the Cowboys can do anything to stop the Eagles? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.